I cannot sing. I cannot dance.
Okay.
I can talk. And my challenge
Instruments?
I can look at them.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can pick out which one is which.
I saw you looking at a guitar once. And I was
yes.
like, oh, yeah, he's nailing it.
And if you ask me, is that a guitar or is that a drum set?
Yeah.
Guitar. 9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10.
Very good at that.
Hello, and welcome to the Precap, a Daily Show podcast where we sit down with the week's host and recap some of the latest news and look forward to what we might be talking about on the show this week. I'm Jason O. Gilbert. I'm a writer on the show, and I'm joined today by your host for the week, Jordan Klepper. Jordan, welcome.
Jason, I want to know about the O.
The O?
Yeah.
It is not, as some people think, an Irish O. People hear Jason O. Gilbert, and they look at my face and still somehow think I might be Irish. But it's not. It's the middle initial O, and it's Oliver.
It's just Oliver.
Yeah.
That's what I would have guessed, Oliver.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you think that's the... If we're doing Family Feud on O's in the middle of a person's name?
I get Oscar a lot.
Okay. I'm still going to go Oliver, Oscar, Orenthal.
Orenthal, yeah.
Big.
My parents were huge fans of murder.
They love murder. If you're into murder and the Buffalo Bills, you got to throw an Orenthal in
which
there.
My parents are. And it's their anniversary coming up, and so I'm going to take them to Buffalo to watch a guy get murdered.
Happy anniversary. What is that? I think gold is
gold.
5, silver is 15, and watching a snuff film is 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they're a very loving couple, and I think we both hope to replicate that in our marriages.
Congratulations to the O. Gilberts.
Yes. So you were just in Newport, Rhode Island?
Yes. I'm a man of many interests. You know, some say it's just politics or the liberal arts, but no, it goes beyond that into music. And so I got to spend 3 days in Newport, Rhode Island at the world famous Newport Folk Festival.
That's lovely.
How was it? It was incredible. I haven't gone to music festivals in a while. I say that actually. I went to the Wilco does a music festival that I was a part of a month ago, which was fantastic. So I 2 music festivals in a summer.
How's your back?
You know, my back is terrible. I have to double down on my hokas. But this midlife crisis I'm acing it right now.
Yeah.
I'm able to dance appropriately, sing along to songs. Newport is a beautiful festival, though. So many great artists. I'm constantly reminded how good music is live.
Yeah.
And they make it hard to get music at Newport. Like, you're so used to streaming music, but you go to Newport, and in order to go to the Newport Folk Festival, you have to get on a boat and take a ride to an old army fort to watch music. Whoa. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You got to put in effort.
You got to earn it.
And quite frankly, I got to be away from news for 3 days.
Yes.
And I had my phone on me, and people would approach me and they'd tell me news stories. I'm like, I will get into it. I will watch the White House Correspondents Dinner on Monday morning, but just give me this. Just give me a little Tom Morello. Give me some Brandy Carlisle.
Sure.
Give me some Nathaniel Ratliff and let me zone out.
Yeah. Turn off the New York Times notifications.
I don't need the notifications. And we all know that New York Times notifications have gotten real loosey-goosey with what is news.
Yes.
Suddenly I'm getting breaking news on recipes that are dropping.
Yeah.
And that makes me lose any kind of faith in mainstream news media.
Yeah. And it's always lentils.
The answer is always, you click it. They ask you to pay for that extra amount to get those recipes. And it's like, oh yeah, you found the best way to boil lentils?
Yeah. Someone at the New York Times bought a huge sack of lentils, and they've just been recipe testing for the last 2 years.
This is your New York Times conspiracy that you've been pushing.
Yeah.
It's
when people ask me, they're always very, very disappointed for my big conspiracy, and it's that the New York Times exists to sell lentils.
It's there to sell lentils, and I think my conspiracy into that is that it's a tax write-off, that somebody bought a giant bag of lentils at the New York Times. They have to write about it so they can write off this lentil purchase and not have to be in the hole for a good, I don't know, $17, $18?
Yeah. I have to tell you, that sounds more like a Fox News conspiracy, that Joe Biden wrote into the tax law that you could write off your lentils, and Trump came in day one, executive order, no more tax write-off for lentils.
I think Hannity did a good 20 minutes on it last night. Just very serious, neck throbbing. We're going to talk about the lentils,
angrier
okay?
and angrier.
Just so angry.
Yeah. Well, speaking of anger, we had Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents Dinner talking to his least favorite group of people, journalists. Well, they're not top. They might be top 7. But so did you see the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or were you neck deep in folk?
I was neck deep in folk, but I popped it out this morning to watch it. You know, the internet gave me bits and pieces, but I went back and started it from the beginning, which is fascinating to watch this man perform. I've been to many rallies.
Yes.
And highly recommend / highly don't recommend watching entire rally performances because you get the clips and you can draw a fair you can have a fair analysis from the clips. I think that's true, but there's such a flow to the way Donald Trump performs. And taking aside the fact that the White House Correspondents' Dinner is a weird anomaly of American culture, and it's icky to see some of the glad handing that's taking place there. But as a performative assignment to watch Donald Trump get up there and have to balance jokes that somebody wrote for him with having to be a host to people getting awards, and also his need to own a room and put people down. It's just this wild stew of American culture that was fun to watch. It's not great to live underneath, but watching this guy, like you see jokes that are in there that he's like, I need to tell these jokes, and yet his desire to pontificate, to Trump weave, the man will take a premise and work it for 4 minutes before getting to a punchline. And so much of comedy is based on playing along with status and understanding how to subvert status. And this man has all the status and the power and has an inability to poke any fun at himself. And so even the jokes that attempted to be written about what went awry with the UFC match on the lawn, like he went into an area talking about how like the UFC match was going to get rained out, or that he was getting criticism for it. And instead of just using that as a premise to get to a shitty punchline, he used it as a premise to then gloat about how he knew more about the weather and how well it went in a way that just loses any kind of tension that a comedian will need. And there are points where you see Donald Trump, like, at the top, I'm like, oh, he could do this if he wanted to.
He's been on television a lot.
He knows how to own a crowd, but Trump always gets in Trump's way. And you see this time and time again. And the cruelty just seeps out. Like that's where, like, you see a comedian on stage when they're bombing, and their truth often comes out in the vamping and how they cover. And it's not easy bombing. But that's where you have to improvise, and that's where you have to try to go to something in the moment or something you truly believe. Like, it can be revelatory. And in Donald Trump, it always goes back to cruelty, to a fat joke, to self-aggrandizement. And yet again, we get to see that over and over again.
Yeah, there's no self-deprecation there.
No.
One thing I find interesting about him trying to tell a joke is he can't say a politician's name that he doesn't like without A, saying the nickname, and then B, explaining the nickname. So he was trying to tell a joke about AOC. So he was like, did you hear the latest about AOC? I call her AOC plus 3 because she has 3 friends. And boy, AOC. And it was just like, this is a 7-second joke. We're in minute 3 of it, just going over the name. Not going to work.
No, and it's his cruelty improv really hurts the comedy potential. Like, he also had a joke in that run where clearly the comedic premise, which I don't know who's writing these jokes for. Maybe it's Trump. I think Trump is essentially...
It was me. I wrote most of them.
You wrote it? Okay. Well, congratulations. If you can get the work. I get it.
It pays really well. And the check from Donald Trump will be here any second now.
I'm sure they pay somebody, a right-wing comedian, to do it, right? I think there's a group that they go out to, like... And many politicians do that for speeches like this. There was a moment where he's using the premise of the UFC, the fight on the lawn. I got criticism for. I'm sure the quick version of the joke is, I threw a UFC fight on the lawn, and I got a lot of criticism for it, but it went so well, I'm going to have more fights on the White House lawn. Fights like this.
Yes.
And they aren't very funny, but clearly he wrote down, oh, I'm gonna have a fight with Chris Christie and Nadler over a cheesecake.
2 fat politicians.
Fat
if you
politicians.
don't know who they are.
Yes. Yep. But that's the joke. Take it or leave it. But Donald Trump vamps on how good the UFC fight went for 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
He mentions Chris Christie and then goes on a tangent about Chris Christie, how I used to like Chris Christie. He was a good guy. Now he said some things about me I didn't like. Oh, I saw him at a Bruce Springsteen concert. Like, he goes off, and then he wrote Nadler. Somebody wrote Nadler, and instead of saying Nadler, he was like, I could have said, I'm going to be nice, but I could have said the governor from Illinois. He would have got here. Like, he brings somebody else in on it. Then he brings Nadler in on it, and then he blows past the cheesecake into something else, shitting on Nadler again. Where you're like, buddy.
Yeah, this is the performance. This isn't the writer's room where you're coming up with the jokes and like brainstorming the punchline. Like, you got to read the punchline at some point.
It's the writer's room presidency right now.
And interestingly, in that fat joke run, he said he doesn't like making fun of fat people. And also, J.B. Pritzker is skinny now.
The man doesn't update his material is what we're seeing. That's, you also see in this vamping, and it exposes what
also,
is.
Jerry Nadler hasn't been in Congress.
No.
Is he still in Congress?
I think no. Nadler retired.
Yeah.
And has not been. That's where, like, it's a curious move where for some reason whoever the writer was didn't want to make it about Pritzker, or he got some weird note, so Nadler goes in there. But Trump still was like, I need to make fun of people's appearances, which of course he does throughout that piece in cringy ways all throughout. God, it's it's so frustrating to watch. And also, I see a lot of the criticism online, and rightfully so, because what you see these moments of Donald Trump, what he always talking about, like, I don't want to make fun of people's looks. I want to celebrate the good people that are in this room. Like, just such false statements and premises.
You don't.
No, you don't. You don't. Yeah. You don't. And it's funny that there's part of your brain that knows the role of a host is to play this. Like, there's still somewhere lost in the back of that weird, cruelty-addled, McDonald's-coded brain of his.
Yeah.
There is still the inner workings, the scaffolding of how somebody is supposed to act in a position of power. Like, you see, it shines through occasionally, and then it immediately gets broken down by the spasms of cruelty and chaos.
Yeah. I was at, I'm going to brag. This isn't even a humble brag. I was at a White House Correspondents Dinner. I wrote for Trevor Noah's White House Correspondents Dinner, and Joe Biden was there, and he said some very lovely things about journalists who had served in Ukraine who are covering that war. And you could tell that he meant it. Or he was a really good actor, and it was convincing. But like you said, like Donald Trump talking about how he respects journalists and what they do, and he is a big supporter of the First Amendment, it rings totally false. No matter how beautiful the prose that was written for him, tells him to say, like, that he doesn't. Like, why even put up the charade?
And I do think America has had a lot of leaders who have fallen short of that, the truths of those ideals that we put on that pedestal, but at least there's been a baseline understanding that there's a performative nod to them.
Yes, performative nod is a great phrase. That's what you want.
You want at least baseline. We're going to performative nod to the freedom of the press for caring about people, for caring about people who are minorities within this country. All certain levels where, like, a person in that position has to at least give the performative nod to know that you are not a psychopath.
Yes.
And perhaps it is you're an empty suit who doesn't believe it, but you at least feel enough cultural pressure to understand that you can't go on stage and at least attempt.
Yeah. He doesn't feel that cultural pressure. He
doesn't feel that, yes.
Have you been to a White House Correspondents Dinner?
I've been to a couple of them. I went to maybe two or three when Hassan did it.
Sure.
Michelle Wolf and Colin Jost.
Oh, yeah.
Those 3 years. All fascinating years. Tough rooms. Different room this year now.
Yes.
But really hard rooms to play within. And I thought each of those comedians handled it really well
Michelle Wolf is fascinating to think about. She got absolutely destroyed online for a joke that she made about Sarah Huckabee Sanders' appearance. And then at this White House Correspondents' Dinner, of course, Donald Trump mocked Caitlin Collins, the CNN anchor, her appearance. And I don't hear the same level of anger from Fox pundits. It's
Gosh
funny.
darn it, Jason, you couldn't be more right about exactly that, right? Like, the anger at a comedian going on stage, making a very clever joke and poking at everybody. I thought, I remember watching, and Michelle's set I thought was fantastic,
Really
smart,
funny.
went at the media, and that room, I was sitting in that room. I thought she was doing incredibly well in that room. And also, all of those tables in that room have a bunch of people sitting with their bosses. And as somebody who's done corporate comedy in rooms, rooms where people are sitting with other people who are their bosses, you can't get laugh from those tables because they're constantly looking at their bosses to see whether or not it's appropriate to laugh. And I'm seeing people holding their lips, people applauding who are just inspired by it, but it doesn't matter whether or not it hits or doesn't hit. I thought Michelle did an incredible job, but you are totally right. She got attacked by a false right-wing media ecosystem that was so appalled that you would be at all cruel there. And now the leader of the free world gets up there, and it's not only unkind about appearance, but it's sloppy about the attempt at it.
Yeah.
It's like mashing all sorts of cruelty and hate just to attempt to be mean for people who are in that room. It's, if you hear this right now, Fox News, this would be a great opportunity to apologize to Michelle. Or to be critical of Donald J. Trump. I look forward to watching the coverage tonight.
We have TiVo'd Hannity, we have TiVo'd Laura Ingraham, we've TiVo'd The Five, and we look forward to their full-throated apologies to Michelle Wolf.
Yeah, can't wait to see it.
Well, speaking of the arts, Donald Trump and his administration, they've been going after the Smithsonian museums. There are a couple of congressional hearings last week, I believe, about how the Smithsonian museums have perverted views of America, perverted woke views of America. And after that finding, the Trump administration has announced that it is placing signs outside the museum saying that the exhibits inside the Smithsonian are inaccurate, might be inaccurate. So like a trigger warning about what you might see in the Smithsonian be woke.
You walk into that Air and Space Museum, and they're going to tell you that we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
And don't believe them. We're finally flat earth or welcome at the Smithsonian. Thank you, Trump administration.
I feel like it's got to be more specific than some of the stuff might be inaccurate. Because now you're just walking through a museum wondering, like, are dinosaurs real?
Well, that's the Trump administration, right? It's like, just sow some doubt. It's like, well, I'm going to go to a museum, bring my kids, we'll show them history. Oh, by the way, we're not going to do the research to tell you what is wrong. I mean, I don't think these signs are up yet, but I'm sure they will be vague and broad in the most infuriating way possible.
Yeah, it's sort of like an escape room now, where you're looking around for the clues, and you're like, is the phone a clue? Is the wall? Do I push on the wall? You just don't know where to look for the inaccuracy.
There is part of me that sees hope in this story. This rewriting of American history has been an attempt by the Trump administration for the last year and a half, but this feels so sad and pathetic.
Yes.
Now, it feels dystopian. I don't think it's a great thing to hear that there's signs going out outside the Smithsonian saying, hey, don't believe what you hear in the African American History Museum. But it also feels ineffective.
Yes.
And lame. And like, we have the most powerful man on the planet who doesn't want you to learn about America's checkered past. And what can he do? He can stand outside and scream like a crazy person.
Yes.
He starts to feel like Donald Trump is that man who wrote the crappy sign about aliens coming or the end of the world, and he's been placed 30 yards outside where everybody else is talking, just saying, don't pay attention, don't pay attention. And this country is just sort of slowly walking by him being like, all right, old man, you do your thing. I'm going to go in and talk to the other adults in the room.
Yeah. Is anyone going to see that sign and be like, you know what? We shouldn't go in this museum. There might be inaccuracies. They didn't have that on the website.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to turn the truck around. We're not going to the Smithsonian.
Yeah. To me, I was thinking about it, and to me, it reminds me of, you have a friend who's always trying to show you a YouTube video that's supposed to be funny, and you see it and you're like not laughing. To me, a lot of the Trump administration's attack on culture has been like, look at this thing and be mad at it. Like, look at the museum. Look how woke it is. Look at the Odyssey. Look how woke it is. And you're looking at this stuff and you're like, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, they didn't really have great examples of what you were supposed to be mad at in the Smithsonian. So you just get this, like, base level, like, there's inaccuracies in there, there's woke in there. And you're just, like, a normal family isn't going to buy into this. You're just the friend who's constantly sending bad YouTube videos.
That is so spot on. And even I would even put it's beyond just sending the YouTube videos. You're the friend who is sitting next to the person who stopped the conversation and brought up the YouTube video to like stop and watch with you.
Yes.
To be like, aren't you as mad at this? And you're like,
That's a great idea, actually. Like a docent an anti-woke docent from the Trump administration that does tours.
Yeah.
That might be next. Can we cut this so that they don't get that idea?
They're gonna get that. I feel like that's actually how Nick Fuentes got his start.
As an anti-woke docent?
I think he was just a guy walking around showing internet videos to people who didn't want to listen. That's like a lot of what that far-right media ecosystem essentially is. It's like, hey, isn't this crazy? This is bullshit, right?
Yeah.
What is? And that the Odyssey drama it is so hilarious to me. I mean, but that is the world that we're in.
Have you seen it?
I saw the Odyssey. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it woke? As someone who hasn't seen it.
Oh my God, the casting was so infuriating. I almost walked out if I wasn't enjoying a fantasy story told by a collective group of people and then attributed to Homer. I would have been so pissed.
Yeah. Was there a sign outside the?
I could have used somebody telling me, careful walking into this theater. It's not going to be
you're not
as
believe
accurate.
who Helen of Troy is.
Let me tell you, you're going to be so mad at who plays the Cyclops in this. Yeah, the Cyclops casting to me just did not feel true at all.
Did the Cyclops actor have two eyes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. This is yes. Nolan was like, oh, it's woke to put two eyes into the Cyclops.
They should have found a guy who had three eyes to really stick it to the far right.
Stick it to the far right people. Well, it's frankly, it's embarrassing. In some ways, we are reaching the embarrassing part of the Trump administration. If we haven't already been there, I think this somewhat made up idea that like MAGA was cool right around when Trump came back in, that was the culture. You're seeing what is so embarrassing about MAGA culture here, and the Odyssey is part of it. Mm-hmm. Like clearly this is internet conversation and just clickbait for the far right, where people are going to see this movie by an auteur who's telling an amazing story that's visually impressive and the story that's been told for ages. But beyond that, it shows a real misunderstanding of what culture is. These people don't know what like adapting a story is. They don't know what taking artistic liberties with a story might look like.
Right.
Artistic interpretations. That's part of the fun of culture. And like you can get drawn into a debate about historical accuracies, again, which is ludicrous on a story that involves Cyclops and that is fantasy and that is an allegory. So it's a ludicrous conversation on the surface. But the secondary thing that makes me sad for these people is like, you don't understand the fun of art. What's compelling about art? Art is interpretation. It is taking stories. It's filtering them through a lens so that you can have a conversation about those things. And if there's any earnestness to that outrage, which I'm skeptical, I think some of that outrage is just to make money and clickbait, and that's their own artistic performance. But some of it, if that is attempting to be real, is frankly, all I'm seeing is artistic illiteracy.
Yes.
Somebody who's like, oh, you don't know how to read a book. You don't know how to understand a movie. You don't know how to go to an art museum and be intrigued with what the artist is trying to say and be in dialogue and conversation with it. You just know how to be mad because you wish it was something else. And that to me is just like, oh, you're a child who doesn't understand what's fun about culture. Poor you.
Yeah.
But I went to the Newport Folk Festival.
Yeah.
So I understand culture.
Yeah, I
know these things. I know art. I know history. I want people to interpret it. That's what's fun. That's what makes me such a well-rounded person.
And you were on stage at the Newport Folk Festival, and you told me that you did an interview with someone, and it went really well, right?
I think I'm all people. When people think Newport Folk Festival, they're going to think of Jordan Klepper on stage there. I got a chance to interview Nathaniel Ratliff, who's a wonderful artist who closed out the Newport Folk Festival with a bunch of friends. He brought Joan Baez out. Dave Matthews swung in. Mavis Staples, like these legends came on out. And Nathaniel's been playing there for years, and so they asked me to interview him on one of the stages because I have no artistic abilities outside of just talking to people.
Yeah.
I cannot sing. I cannot dance.
Okay.
I can talk. And my challenge
Instruments?
I can look at them.
Yeah.
Yes. And I can pick out which one is which.
I saw you looking at a guitar once. And I was
yes.
like, oh, yeah, he's nailing it.
And if you ask me, is that a guitar or is that a drum set?
Yeah.
Guitar. 9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10.
Very good at that. But here there's like, because Dylan went electric, I love Bob Dylan, I'm like, how do you go electric in a Q&A? So what I did is I printed out questions from the 2023 Master Electrician exam.
I love that.
And I gave these questions to Nathaniel Ratliff, who I did it as a comedic bit, and he nailed it. He just is somebody with a skill set, and therefore was able to answer those questions.
Yeah. So if I have a short in my I
call Nathaniel Ratliff. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if Spotify has added that to the artist information page, but hopefully there's a link. If you go to Spotify, listen to Nathaniel, click on it if you have any kind of electrical problems, and he'll be there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of problems,
that is a nice transition.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. I can hear him clapping. Alan's our producer. He's clapping.
Oh my God, that's a standing O. Look at that.
Yeah, wow. That's sit down, please. Put your shirt on. We have big pooping and health news, is what the screen says. 1.6 million eggs were recalled over a salmonella risk. There's another cyclospora outbreak under investigation. This is separate from the one that might or might not involve Taco Bell and Taylor Farms lettuce. And there are already more U.S. measles cases this year than in all of 2025. That's your pooping and health news. Let's go to Jordan Klepper with the traffic.
America 250, come and visit, everyone.
Yeah.
I love the detail here that Mexico is now warning of a diarrhea risk when visiting the USA. Yeah. Oh, how the tides have turned. Oh, don't drink the water when you go to Mexico, huh?
You know that whoever got to type that up in the Mexican embassy was like, well, this is the best day of my year.
Do you think they had that on the ready? They've been waiting to publish that.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Montezuma's revenge? Here comes John F. Kennedy's revenge.
Also, every liberal website, too, they ran that. They were like, we're bumping it. Whatever story it is, we're bumping it. Oh, no, we have the story that will get the clicks, that will pay attention, that will make them people feel good. It's sort of like a wool blanket for the far left progressives to read that story.
We're the diarrhea country now.
Yes.
Somali captain, look at us. We are the diarrhea country now. Remember we used to do that all the time?
We did.
Yeah.
Did you shy away from doing the accent right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt that way. I think that would have been a bridge too far.
We're gonna fix it in post. I'm gonna do a big ADR after this. I'm actually gonna do the entire podcast in the Somali captain accent, but we're gonna do it after, just to save time.
Yeah, when was the last time? Because we did that. We had some good Somali captain jokes on the show.
Trevor was so funny at it.
He loved it.
Yeah, and he does great accents.
He does.
His Somali captain, I would say, is better than yours.
It is better than mine. Yes, John though nails a Somali captain.
John, yeah,
really...
It's so great to have him back and doing his Somalian accent all the time.
he loved it. It's been missed. Viewers and longtime fans.
It's our 30th birthday.
It is
last week.
How did you celebrate the Daily Show's 30th birthday?
I had just one shot of Jägermeister and fell asleep on the couch.
That sounds about right.
Did you? Were you here last week?
I was here and then I left. There was a little Daily Show gathering, I believe, Thursday night that I went to Newport because I'm a patron of the arts, and so
you're a little more sophisticated.
A little more sophisticated. It's wild. We've been talking a little bit and doing some podcasts about older pieces and just looking back on Daily Show for 30 years, which has been so fun to see how things have changed, how things have not changed, and how so many funny people have been through here. I love going through the Daily Show archives. Yes. I love again, the show has always been so important to me, and to see the funny folks coming through here. Yeah,
I recently got served on TikTok a video of when Dick Cheney shot a guy in the face. One of the all-time funniest Daily Show episodes. There was, they did a little Photoshop mock-up of Dick Cheney playing Duck Hunt Like they had a recreation of Dick Cheney shooting a guy in the face, and they were like, I believe we have video, and it was just the Duck Hunt screen, and then Dan Bacadol popping up and being like, hey, what's up, guys? And he gets shot in the head. And that was the entire thing. One of the hardest I've ever laughed when I watched it live, and just great to see again almost 20-something years later.
Dan Bacadol, one of my old improv coaches back in Chicago. All-time great dude. The guy I called before getting my final audition with The Daily Show.
Wow.
The world comes all together. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah. If you want to hear more about this, I talk about it on the other podcast a bit. Just, it's, we have a lot of content. We make a lot of content.
Yeah.
So just make sure, if you're into this podcast and have nothing else to do for another hour and a half, God bless your life. First of all, maybe get another job or volunteer.
Is that a 90-minute podcast?
It's a 90-minute podcast with Ronnie Chang.
Yeah. And he does a great Somali accent, too.
We have some top-notch performers on the show
that's
now.
Most of the audition.
It really is.
Hey, we have a funny video to watch. We're laughing now.
This show is about serious political satire and diarrhea lettuce. But also some very funny things happen on the internet that we'd be remiss if we didn't call out.
Yeah, this is an amazing video of a Canadian politician in a very small part of New Brunswick, I believe Alan said. Alan, our producer, is Canadian, and he fills us in on, I thought Canada was just like Canada, but there are little states.
There's states in there. There's people who live in those states.
People,
I watched
animals, I
There's
assume?
animals there. Apparently there's a working government, or at least people who attempt to work at government there. It's fascinating to learn about this place.
Yes. So we have a video of one of their local legislature meetings. Let's take a look at this local politician kind of stepping in it a little bit, reading a speech that was clearly prepared for him by someone else.
Another concern relates to expectations. One of the dangers associated with creating advocacy offices is that citizens often develop expectations that exceed the powers actually granted to those offices. Here's a more natural flowing version of that section that reads like a legislative speech rather than a series of short points. Madam Speaker, one of my concerns with this legislation...
Bill.
It's so Bill. Good. Bill Oliver.
Oh,
hey,
Bill Oliver.
Do you think we're related?
I think you guys are, yes.
So I actually think that, it's good that he said, here's a more natural, free-flowing version, because to me, that first sentence, I didn't understand a word of what he was saying.
I I don't know what language they speak in Canada, but that must be it.
Yeah.
Now, you feel for Bill.
You do.
This is new technology that the older generation is starting to get used to, and
everyone.
We're all getting used to it.
Yeah.
We figure out what this is, how do you utilize it, and now Bill is going all over the internet. I think that's from Australian television, if that's correct.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, he's in New Brunswick. He's a local politician.
Yes, this isn't national politics.
This is not national politics.
This is
if
the
ever
equivalent.
there's a time to use AI to get through the board notes,
yes,
it is this time. Bill, I assume, Bill has got 2 other jobs.
Yeah,
Bill has got grandkids. He has a field to till, perhaps.
Yeah. Sure.
Salmon to fish. To till as well.
There's a lot of tilling in Canada.
There's so much Canadian tilling that he needs to get done, and he just needs to get through the beats. And so the man plugs it into AI. God bless it. He reads it there, and now the world is poking at Bill. And I feel for the guy. As somebody who works off a teleprompter, I know teleprompters move.
Yeah.
They pull you in directions that you may not know you're going into. And so Bill finds himself there. I hope he finds some solace in his newfound
I
fame.
hope he can laugh about it.
Hope so.
Yeah, he looks like a fun-loving guy.
Do you think Bill, in his time of internet fame, in dealing with how to handle it emotionally, turns to AI and asks the AI chatbot how to deal with it?
I hope so. And I hope the AI chatbot doesn't tell him to put poison on his pizza. Remember that, when the glue pizzas? That feels like a long time ago.
You know what? This is where I feel maybe it's going to make me old, but I'm not a big AI guy. Where I find it most helpful is like a Yelp review, or like, I'm going to this area. Is there a coffee shop nearby that I could do? Like I
You're
will
Googling. Yeah.
I'm using it as an extension of Google, usually for like recommendations in travel.
Yeah.
And it is always so wrong.
Oh, is it?
I find it incorrect most of the time. In a way that for me it is akin to gambling, where the first time I went to Vegas, I lost a bunch of money. I never got that initial dopamine hit of, this is great, I can make money. I just got lose money.
Gambling is losing money.
Gambling is losing money, and that got cemented initially in me, and so I have no real interest in it. I go to Vegas, I'm like, it's not even fun to me, because it's just a loss. And AI kind of had that right off the bat for me as something that is just kind of incorrect and annoying for me when I'm showing up at these places and they don't exist, or I'm having to re-Google because things are so asinine and not correct.
I guess the question for Bill Oliver is, do you think he'll continue using AI to write his speeches that otherwise 47 people would have watched this speech?
Yes.
Right?
And maybe it's popular. Maybe this makes him popular. Also, if AI does what AI is supposed to do, AI is listening to this story, paying attention to Bill Oliver. And the next time Bill Oliver asks about this, we'll give him a script that won't embarrass him on a public forum.
Yeah. Maybe you think he could lean into it. He could become the AI gaffe politician. That could be his thing.
This is Canada's AI Haktua girl.
Yeah. What a beautiful phrase that is.
Maybe the first time that's been said, I'm hoping.
I would bet Canada AI Haktua girl is a Jordan Klepper original.
Oh, put it on a t-shirt and give it to Bill Oliver.
We're going to have to check FDR's speeches. But
he was nibbling around that area for a while. So we should triple check.
We'll check the archives. We'll get the fact checkers on it, but you might be the first.
Fingers crossed.
All right, Jordan, let's look ahead at what we might be covering this week on the show. We know that you're a Michigan boy.
Yep.
And this is a big week for Michigan. Donald Trump is in Michigan today, I believe, rallying.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight there is a debate between the two Democratic primary Senate candidates, Abdullah El-Sayed and Haley Stevens. And also, I mean, my favorite story out of Michigan in a while, the Gordie Howe Bridge. You covered it on your show. Mm-hmm. Can you explain the situation here?
I may be a little rusty on it, but I know the Ambassador Bridge is the big bridge between Canada and Michigan that goes into Windsor, Canada, and Detroit.
Okay.
As a Michigan kid, I grew up seeing and going over the Ambassador Bridge. They were building another bridge, the Gordie Howe Bridge,
mm-hmm.
that from my understanding, I think Canada was paying for a good portion of it.
Yes.
It was going to be significantly cheaper. The Ambassador Bridge, we did a story on it at the Daily Show a long time ago, had some issues with the owner and the prices. I believe there was a Trump connection there as well, or at least some familiarity about why there were on the ground. I believe the idea was the Gordie Howe Bridge was a real win-win for the people of Canada and Michigan, from financially to open up ways in which traffic can go across and goods and services can go across. And the Ambassador Bridge in and of itself was sort of an impediment to that. But the Trump administration got in the way because of...
Yeah. The owner of the Ambassador Bridge was a Trump crony, a Trump friend who said, please delay the Gordie Howe Bridge opening so I can make a little more money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it sounds like the Gordie Howe Bridge, I believe, opened today.
Uh-huh.
So that is it seems a windfall. It's a Michigan success story, which, if we're covering stuff this week, we covered the Gordie Howe Bridge, and Grace Kulenschmidt got to play the Gordie Howe Bridge troll.
Classic.
Which was one of my favorite. Grace loves a fun costume.
Yep.
We got to add riddles to it with a Red Wings jersey. Like, I'm hoping the comedy gods allow us to cover that tomorrow, because there's some real juice in that.
That's one of your, whenever there's a Michigan angle, you like to...
I love a Michigan angle.
Yeah.
And sometimes Costa and I have to fight over it. We're both
right.
Michigan boys from different parts of the state. So it can get pretty tense if we're both on the show trying to cover a Michigan thing. But I'm hosting this week, so Michigan, it's all me.
Costa's waiting in the parking lot with brass knuckles.
He is.
Yeah. I mean, last week, personally for me, Donald Trump spoke at the rival high school of the one that I went to in Georgia, in Marietta, Georgia. He was in Georgia rallying for, I believe, the Senate candidate for Georgia, the Republican Senate candidate.
What kind of emotions does that arise?
It was weird. I took driver's ed at this high school. That was the last time I was there. And it was always sort of like, I associate Wheeler High School with like doing a pep rally and like cheering on our boys to beat them at football. And now I hadn't thought about Wheeler High School in, I don't know, a few decades, couple decades, not a few decades, Jesus, a couple decades. And now there's Donald Trump in the gym where I've seen basketball games talking about the threat of communism. It's really strange, isn't it?
It really is. You forget how local politics can be. It's what I've loved in the Daily Show. One of my first year here covering the primaries in New Hampshire, in going to gymnasiums and watching Jeb Bush in a room of 300 people talk politics. I find it very refreshing and fun to see candidates up close. And it's a reminder that these are just people working for citizens and have to convince them on a local level.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like this there's national import for Jeb Bush and his campaign. Mm-hmm. But for these people, they're in a place where they play dodgeball, they play kickball. Mm-hmm. They're there every day, and they're looking for someone who's going to solve their problems locally.
Well, I'm sure Donald Trump took that into consideration and will get right to work on focusing on making those people's lives better.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny is I checked in on our local newspaper, and one of the headlines about Donald Trump's visit was, again, this is for a Senate race. This is the president of the United States is in this smallish town, and the headline was, Donald Trump's visit to Marietta has minimal traffic impacts.
You know what? Good for Marietta.
Yeah.
And that's actually a pretty good headline for a Donald Trump thing.
Yeah.
He didn't make weight jokes, or at least they didn't capture the headlines. Maybe we become so inured to them that we're not like, oh, he said another terrible thing. He pushed the Greenland invasion theory. No, the traffic was okay.
Yeah.
We're going to move on with our day.
Yeah. That's all you can really hope for, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe he'll start bragging about that. They say I had minimal traffic impacts. The most minimal traffic.
The most minimal traffic that they've seen in years.
Do we want to talk Iran war?
Boy.
I mean, it's still going.
It's still going. I think for this week, we're going to keep an eye on it. It seems like we are running out of ammunition.
Yeah. That's a metaphor, and also... We're actually running out of ammunition.
We're actually running out of ammunition. We're having to be tactical about what kind of defenses we use and put into place. And so, from a show's perspective, I think we're going to watch that, see if that's something we talk about this week. I think, I don't know, it's also depressing and outrageous.
Yeah. I remember when it started and there were bold predictions that it could be over in a weekend. And that was 5 months ago, I believe. Mm-hmm. And now we're running out of missile interceptors, and we're having to choose which missiles should go through based on they're going to hit lesser targets or they're going to land in the ocean. So we have to be a little more selective about where the missiles go.
We can't just stop every missile.
Yes.
Who are we to stop every missile that's coming in?
Yeah.
What, the protectors of the world? No, that's not us.
We have to choose. It's sort of like if you watch a basketball game and there's one guy who's bad at 3-point shooting, so you have to let him take every shot, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's where we are now.
Yeah, you're right. If we were an elite basketball team, we would just go man-on-man coverage.
Yes.
And be like, we're covering everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Cover them behind the 3-point line.
Yeah.
We're down low. We can handle it.
Yeah.
No, we have understood. It's like, here's the deal, guys.
Yeah. It's getting late in the game. We have tired legs.
We can't waste that energy. They're killing us in the paint. Let's put all our energy down there. Let's give them the 3-point line.
You've got to choose who's going to beat you.
Fingers
you got
crossed.
to choose which missiles are going to beat you. And that's where we are.
God bless. Well, let's hope we have a good coach. Do we have a good coach? How does that look?
Yeah, he's won 8 championships, I hear, in his first term.
Give the man a prize. Why not?
Give the man. Hey, that's a...
That was definitely a plug for the special that I did last year. I felt gross even saying it.
Well, if you're an Emmy voter, watch Give the Man a Prize and maybe give it a vote.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. It is now time for something we call Daily Show and Tell. What's something you've watched, read, listened to, or enjoyed lately that you would love to tell everyone about?
I will stick on my music trend, and I saw a couple great artists that I didn't know about. I saw a band called Fruit Bats, which was just fantastic and groovy and awesome. And I saw this artist and got to talk to her as well, named CMAT from Ireland, who does CMAT. She is a firecracker. She's from Ireland. She does fun, like, pop music with a country sensibility, but she told me she's like she like Trojan horses misery in her music. So she's subversive, playful. She got on that Newport stage, and not a lot of people, I think, had heard her before. There's so many legends there.
Yeah.
And she owned it. She slayed. She feels like Chapel Roan. And kind of how she's playing with her identity and her brashness. She was a delight. So it was CMAT.
And does that stand for something?
Probably.
Yeah.
That I don't know what. I should have followed up. I got a chance to talk to her. I didn't get to go into what is the CMAT for. Walk me through it.
Oh,
we're getting it right now. Yep, it's her stage name, but it goes for her full name.
Okay.
Yep.
It sounds like the test that you take before you get into grad school for electrician.
If you pass the CMAT, then you can be a lawyer. Congratulations.
That's great.
Yeah. What about you? Any hot tips?
I'll stick on music. There was a guy performing at Newport Folk that I love. This is Lorelei. Did you see him?
I saw This Is Lorelei, and I talked to This Is Lorelei.
Did you?
Yes.
Was he nice? Please tell me
he was very nice.
I can't handle more disappointment.
He was very nice.
The Bill Cosby thing.
Don't worry there. I got zero Bill Cosby vibes.
Okay, zero Cosby vibes. That's good. This is Lorelei. He's half of a band I love called Water From Your Eyes, and he also has an incredible solo album.
And to be clear, he is not Lorelei.
He's not Lorelei.
It's mildly confusing. His name is not Lorelei. He goes by This Is Lorelei.
That's the name of the band.
Yes, the band in and of itself.
It's like how Trent Reznor is 9 Inch Nails.
This is what I love is once I start talking to folks, then I think he's a Brooklyn guy.
Yes.
Yes. We started talking about Brooklyn and where you eat food and where you go around Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Which just becomes very humanizing. But also, I can't talk to people about music for too long because I have no understanding of how it works.
Right. And they can't ask you about music because you can basically just identify instruments is your talent.
Again, good. If he needed that. If he was like, I was like, oh, fuck, I know I need to go out there and play guitar, but which one is it?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Then I jump in there. I'm like, it's that one.
And you could be a roadie if this comedy thing doesn't work out for you.
But my body's frail, so I'm not good at picking up.
Oh, that's true.
I can't place guitars.
You just spot them.
I spot guitars.
You could manage roadies.
Yes. 9 out of 10 times. Again, I'm not claiming I'd be 100% on guitars versus drums.
Yeah.
But I would be high 90s.
90%. Yeah. So 90% of the concerts would work out.
And then 1 out of 10, there would be a hilarious.
Be like, we bought all drums.
What is that man? Why is that man banging on on a Gibson in the back? Oh, our roadie's he's not perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for.
I'll do one more. We're going to be off the air for a month.
Yeah.
After this week, and you might find yourself anxious without us. You might find yourself upset by the news. You don't know how to process it without the Daily Show. I want to give a shout out to the track that calms me down every time I listen to it. Brian Eno, Music for Airports, track 1.
That's a great track.
Yeah.
My child goes to sleep to it. Many
Really?
nights. Uh-huh.
I used to go to sleep to it every single night.
There's also, as we were riffing on, there's a great Brian Eno documentary that came out, I think, last year.
Yes.
It's on the Criterion Collection, if you watch that, which I loved. Hearing him articulate like the genesis of ambient music and...
Is that the one that sort of like cycles through, you can watch it in any order?
Yeah, my understanding is that like whenever you, at least from a digital standpoint, it rejiggers itself. So you're not like, it's
every scene is sort of modular. So when they would show it in theaters, you saw a different movie every time, essentially. Same content, but in a different order.
Yeah, I think because the movie talks itself about like generative music, like the type of, he had one thing that stuck with me in there about when he would create ambient music or projects, he was like, I'm less interested in the result, but more in planting a seed. That like, how could he start something musically so that it becomes something else? And the movie was attempting to do that too, which was
I can't wait to watch it.
It's great.
Anyway, we will miss you when we're off the air.
You will be missed, but music for airports is a gem.
So if you find yourself missing us so much that you're getting upset, try Music for Airports.
Just give it a shot. It'll chill you out, guys.
Yeah. All right. That's all for this week's Precap. I'm Jason O'Gilbert. I'm a writer at the show. This has been Jordan Klepper. You can catch him hosting The Daily Show this week on Comedy Central and Paramount Plus, and right here in podcast form on The Daily Show Ears Edition.
And those TDS 30 podcasts are going to start rolling out next week. So they were so fun to do, just to really sit back and reminisce about the 30 plus years of the Daily Show.
Well, I don't have a life, so I will be listening to all of them.
You're gonna love the trip down memory lane.
Jordan, this was so lovely.
Jason, wonderful.
Yeah, I can't wait to do 3 shows with you. And
then take August off.
And maybe we'll never see each other again.
That could be it, yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Explore more shows from The Daily Show podcast universe by searching The Daily Show wherever you get your podcasts. Watch The Daily Show weeknights at 11, 10 Central on Comedy Central, and stream full episodes anytime on Paramount Plus.
This has been a Comedy Central podcast.